All right, so are you ready to dive into this debate about Liverpool's midfield?
Always up for a good tactical discussion, especially when it comes to a club as big as Liverpool.
Well, today we're tackling the big question. Is Szoboszlai Dominic really the key player for them? We've got this video analysis that's got everyone talking, and it's packed with stats.
Yeah, this video definitely stirred the pot a bit. I mean, the creator doesn't hold back in defending Szoboszlai.
Not one bit. They straight up call out anyone who doubts him as armchair pundits right off the bat.
It's clear they're a fan, but they do back it up with some interesting data.
Oh, absolutely. Like that physical comparison. Did you realize Szoboszlai is like a whole 17 centimeters taller than Harvey Elliott?
I did see that, yeah. It's not something you'd necessarily think about, but that's a significant difference on the pitch.
Right. We always talk about those intangible qualities, but size can be a real factor too. And you can't teach height.
True enough. Though it is interesting they lead with the physical comparison. Maybe it says something about what some fans value.
That's a good point. But it does quickly shift gears and gets into some more, shall we say, insightful points. Like the amount of game time each player had under Klopp last season.
That's huge. I mean, that tells you a lot more about what Klopp really thinks than anything.
Exactly. He's not going to give significant minutes to someone he doesn't see potential in. Right?
Exactly. And then the video really gets down to it with the stats. This is where it gets juicy.
Right. Expected goals, or XG, might sound a little complicated, but it's about the quality the chances created, not just goals themselves.
And that's so important because it shows that he's consistently putting his teammates in a position to score, even if the goals aren't always going in.
It's like saying, look, he's doing the work, even if the other guys aren't finishing.
Exactly. And the expected assist data supports that idea too. He's creating opportunities, even if luck isn't always on his side.
I love how they use those visuals, especially the heat maps. You see Szoboszlai all over the pitch, and then you see Elliott mainly sticking to the right.
It's a great way to visualize it. Suddenly, the difference in their playing styles, the impact they have, it just clicks.
Totally. And they highlight his stats in other areas too, like dribbles, aerial duels, even fouls won.
All pointing to him being a dynamic presence on the pitch. You can't deny that.
He's everywhere. Although the video does acknowledge there's room for improvement.
There always is, right? Nobody's perfect.
True. Ball retention seems to be the main one, though they spin it as part of his attacking mindset, that willingness to take risks.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Do those risks pay off often enough? It's a balancing act.
Exactly. And speaking of balance, it's not just Elliott they compare Szoboszlai to. They bring Curtis Jones into the mix too.
Another contender for that midfield spot. It's getting crowded.
Right. But even with Jones in the picture, Szoboszlai seems to come out on top statistically.
That's what the data suggests, yes. They even bring in SofaScore player ratings, and he consistently ranks higher there as well.
So we're seeing a pattern here. Goals, assists, even those more subjective ratings, he's up there. But does that automatically make him the key to Liverpool's midfield?
That's the million-dollar question, and one we'll have to unpack a bit further.
It's like they say there's no I in team. You can have amazing stats, but if you don't gel with the team,
it's not going to work. And that's where you get into that human element, you know? All the data in the world can't replace what a manager like Klopp sees.
It's about those intangibles, isn't it? Leadership, composure, the ability to inspire.
Exactly. Those are the things that are tough to quantify, but they make a huge difference on the pitch.
Huge. And, you know, Klopp's looking at that every single day in training, how they interact, their work ethic.
It's the art of management, isn't it? Balancing those hard stats with gut feeling and understanding of the game.
And that's what makes this whole debate so interesting. We can look at the numbers all day long, but it's Klopp who makes the call.
It's true. It reminds me of trying to predict the weather. You know, you've got all these fancy models, but sometimes
Mother Nature has other plans.
Exactly.
But you know what I find really interesting about all this? It goes beyond just these players, even beyond Liverpool.
How so?
It's about the bigger picture of data analysis in football.
Ah, I see what you mean. It's changing the game, no doubt.
Right. Traditional scouting is being challenged by all these advanced stats and models.
It's a whole new era.
But like we've been saying, it's about finding that balance.
100%. You can't rely on data alone. It's like having all the puzzle pieces, but no clue how to put them together.
You need that human touch, that understanding of the bigger picture, the intuition.
And that's where expert judgment comes in.
So where does that leave us with Szoboszlai?
Well, this video makes a strong case for him. The stats back him up. The potential's there.
But it's not just about the numbers. There's a whole other side to consider. It's like we're just scratching the surface here. you know?
Football's always got more layers to peel back.
And especially with a club like Liverpool, always changing, always evolving.
The Premier League never sleeps, that's for sure.
This whole thing's really got me thinking about data, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's powerful stuff, but...
It's not the whole story.
Exactly. Like we said, it's those other qualities that make a player truly great, those things you can't measure.
Absolutely.
So we want to hear from you. What do you think about Szoboszlai? Have you seen that it factor, that spark that elevates everyone around him?
Hit us up on social media. Let's keep this conversation going.
This has been a fun one. Really dug into Liverpool's midfield today and all the excitement around Szoboszlai Dominic.
Until next time, everyone, keep those questions coming.
We'll be here, ready to dive into whatever you throw our way.